WA7 YBS.
Well, good morning, Henry. You sound like you're on something interesting. I bet I know what it is, but I'm not going to say nothing. So, sounding good, man. I got you in the 3 spot, Henry, WA7 YBS. Alrighty. Is there number 4 out there that would like to check in? Be number 4. You're welcome to come now. Okay, nothing heard. Alright, well, I guess we'll go ahead and get the next started right now, and I'll pick up any stragglers there at the end of the first round. So, good morning to Mike, Steve, and Henry. Everybody's got an excellent signal this morning. And we'll get the next started. So this is North Radio Net. This is K0DWC Chuck, and we'll be on 3.974 megacycles this morning. And Vintage Military Radio Net is a round-table AM net that provides an opportunity for licensed hams to operate their vintage military radio gear on the air. Military gear is encouraged, but certainly not required, and checking to be given a number that can be used in the handoff. And alcohol for check-ins at the end of each round-table session. Anybody has anything for sale or has a want for something, please mention it during your turn in a round-table session. So, the order that I have here is in the number 1 spot is Mike, W7MS. In the 2 spot is Steve, W6SSP. In the 3 spot is Henry, WA7YBS. So, is there a number 4 out there before we get started? You're welcome to come now.
W6MQI. Half asleep.
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, I know. I'm about the same way. I'm not the same way. W6MQI. Dave, I got you in the 4th spot there, man. Is there a number 5 that would like to check in before we get started here? You're welcome to come now. Okay. Nothing heard, so let me give you a quick rundown. In the number 1 spot is W7MS. In the 2 spots, W6SSP. In the 3 spot is WA7YBS. And in the 4th spot is W6MQI. So, good morning again. And we're running the standard net control station this morning, the ART13, with the AIR7, R45 and AIR7 receiver coupled to an LS3 speaker, and running about 200 watts plus or minus a little bit, but speaking through a K0DWC microphone with an electret module in it. And I've got the loop antenna on, hooked to the R388 as a backup, just in case. So that's our rundown here. So with that, we will send it over to Reno. And Mike, have you heard anything about over in the Azores? Is Ron coming back in October, do you know, or is he already back? W7MS, go ahead. This is K0DWC.
Well, okay, and stand by. I got to check some boiler pressure here. Well, I guess we'll see if this guy smokes. My plate tip on the ART13 isn't per my log sheet here. So, and I was on 3870 earlier in the week and chose not to operate, but I got everything tuned up and then found something else to do. no one needs comment. But W7MS, Mike and Reno, good signals from everybody, and I would concur with you, Chuck, that Henry's on something different. I think I know what it is, but we're not going to steal his thunder, but there were some nuances and some background noise, so we'll, or background sound effects. It's not noise, it's a pleasant sound, at least over the radio. I don't know if it is when you're in front of it, but sounded great. And good morning to you, Steve, Henry, and Dave, as he chases the cobwebs this morning, but everybody's sounding good. This morning running the, I guess you'd call the usual stuff, the T-47 ART-13, courtesy of Zenith contract for the U.S. Navy, under the new mill system of designation. And listening on the, and I'm going to be the defender of the Marconi R1155 Alpha, since the first time on the air here, actually in a transmit receive mode, so we've got that going, and enjoying the beautiful nice 61 Osram iTube. It's well, it's doing quite well, and while I'm sure Henry may have some comments, or maybe Henry's listening on his version of this receiver. And as we all know, due to hamster modifications, there are many versions of this receiver living out there in the somewhere in the world in the Dominion. So over to Steve, and thanks for the updates on the 37 W6SSP W7MS.
Okay, Mike, hey, you sound great. Everybody sounds great this morning. Looks like we've got a core group here. Anyway, good morning to Chuck with Carl in the background, Mike, Henry, and Dave. So, beautiful morning here. It's going to be sunny later today, but a chilly start, and that's just fine with me. Anyway, as I mentioned to Mike earlier, had kind of a fun week with some of the things that Justin put up at the swap. It's K0DWC SEA. He took Friday off, so I went over to his place, and we kind of did a triage on the things he ended up with. Main one being the Helicopter's HD-37, which, a little supervision on my part, he was able to completely go through and get it on the air. So that was cool. It's the first time he's done that, so I was pretty jazzed about that. We also took a closer look at the somewhat ratty National NC-101XA, and it seemed to be a little better than I thought. There was one transformer that was kind of just sitting there, wrapped in electrical tape, and there was a black beauty cap attached to it somehow. It was just kind of flopping around inside the cabinet. But what it turned out to be, upon closer inspection, was the output transformer. Now, I'm sure Henry knows this, but these receivers didn't include the output transformer in the radio. They were in the speaker, and which of course we didn't get. And it's push-pull 6F6s, so somebody in the distant past put that output transformer in the radio. So it's pretty cool. So he'll drive 8 ohms directly, and that's a big plus, because he doesn't have any parts, and I don't think I have many of those parts around anymore. Anyway, what else? Oh yeah, between that and he picked up a scope and a variable bench power supply. We went through all of it, at least looked at everything, and of course completed the HD-37. And by the time we were done, we spent 5 hours just looking at stuff. Neither one of us realized how much time we were spending, but that's how it goes with this old stuff. It was a lot of fun, and I think Justin's getting a feel for tube radios now, which is great. So, over to Henry, W7YBS, W6 SSP.
Okay. W6 SSP, WA7YBS. All right. Well, good morning to Mike and to Steve, Chuck, Dave, and everybody's coming in just fine. S9 plus on everybody, and everybody's sounding just fine. So, 53 degrees this morning, clear skies so far, and so it was pretty cool yesterday morning. It was about 42, 41, something like that, but a little warmer today. And this I'm transmitting on the ATD, and I'm going through a pilot's remote, and I also have the remote indicator hooked up, which really doesn't do much of anything, but it does indicate, which is all it's supposed to do. But the pilot's remote is pretty cool. It controls the transmitter, and of course when the ATD was in the airplane, the two-seaters, the pilot was in control of the transmitter, even though the transmitter was under his feet, under his seat, facing backwards towards the operator. But the pilot was the guy in control. He turned the transmitter on and off. He also selected the channel, the frequency, and the mode of operation. And then the operator could run the transmitter after that. So anyway, that's the way we have it set up. We're on the pilot's remote. And so there you go. But what I am doing is I am running 125 watts output now, courtesy of the W6MIT linear amplifier, the 1995 creation by John Svoboda, W6MIT. So anyway, a little bit of horsepower there behind the ATD to the antenna. And so we'll see what the reports are for that. Receiver, yeah, I'm not using the R1155 mic. I'm back on the RBG2, the Hammerland HQ120 military version. And it's just because the 1155, the way I had mine set up, I had to have two power supplies to run the thing, and that was set behind on another desk, and it just ended up being kind of a lot of stuff for the receiver to operate. I did use it. It works fine. It's a nice receiver. Unfortunately, my iTube, if you turned out all the lights in the room and pull the shades, you might be able to see it. So it's a pretty dim one. So that's about the rundown here on the station. So let me turn it over to Dave, W6MQI, WA7YBS.
All right, WA7YBS, W6MQI. Well, that's got an interesting sound to it for Henry. In fact, my dog was laying down here and he woke up, or perked up, and his ears went up. Yeah, you gotta have a very, I think you might have said what type of microphone you're using with it, but it's a very carbony, but pretty cool. Yeah, it sounded pretty neat. Well, guys, yep, I woke up a little late here. Surprised I even made it out here. Yeah, I woke up and it was still dark. The time is a-changing. I don't know when we go back on the standard time. The end of the month or first part of November or something. Anyway, I don't know. Well, I'm operating through a remote here too into my TCS setup. I'm on the TCS 6, TCS 14, driving the Drake L7 amplifier. And let's see, it's so it's almost 70, that's hard to believe, almost 70 degrees outside. A little bit of a breeze, and hard to tell if there's any overcast. The sky's still kind of purpley. Well, you do see a cloud or two there, but that's the rundown here, and I'm trying to get some tea in me so I can, I didn't even get the coffee going, I just put some tea together real quick. And 22 more days till D-Day. I can't wait. So over to net control, K0DWC W6MQI. Oh, and everybody's sounding good. And I almost got on my ART-13 too. We would have had 3 of them playing. So anyway, good job everybody. Over to Chuck, K0DWC W6MQI. Did I?
Hey, Brian, we've got you. Thank you, Dave. Okay, yeah, Vern, I've got you, K6VXY. I've got you in the number 5 spot. So stand back for just 1 second. Let me see if there's anybody else, and then we'll get started back with you here in just a second. Is there a number 6 out there that would like to check in? Should have been his military radio, and Ned, you can come now.
November 6, Tango.
Okay, there's Bill. Good morning, Bill. I've got you in the number 6 spot. Stand by. Let me see if there's number 7 out there. Number 7 like to check in. Can you military radio net? You can come now. Okay, nothing heard. So, Vern, you're in the 5 spot, W6VXY. You'll hand it over to Bill, N6 Bravo Charlie Tango, and then Bill, you send it back to me, K0DWC. So, K6VXY, go ahead.
Okay, I'm running on no brain and lower power, but a good antenna. This K6VXY. I tried to hook up my Marauder. I couldn't get the coax's input from output figured out quick enough. Anyhow, I did improve antenna work. Big antenna improvement, but my power output's probably only about 20 watts, 25 watts. That's all I can do right now. I don't want to blow anything up. Handles Vern from Groveland, California, running IC 7200, briefly running the Marauder, but I didn't have it hooked up right. That'll come next week. And then just barefoot. So I guess you can hear me okay. This antenna is up really high. It's up 40 plus feet everywhere. You kind of picture the antenna as if you were at a rock concert or a big concert and a large audience kind of sweeping around. So it goes very straight off to the apex, and then it bends a little at the end. So I'm up really high at one side. I've never been that high up before. But I would think even with lower power you can hear me okay. And then, so the transmitter shifts to 7200. The linears are sitting here. They need work too. My brain needs work. I've only had half a sip of coffee. I'll go over to Bill real quick because I don't want to hold it in case you're not hearing me. N6 BCT K6 VXY. Go ahead.
I got an extra inverter on this on my solar system, and that's why I have to use this receiver. So that's the story there. So it's back over to the control, K0DWC, N6 BCT.
Okay, Bill, N6 BCT, K0DWC. Yeah, Bill, you're a little bit light here, but I did copy you. And, Brian, you got a great signal on 25 watts, you know. Absolutely no problem at all. That antenna's doing a fantastic job for you. So, great job there. And, continued success with all the good stuff with the Marauder and everything. So, let's see. Dave, the daylight saving time is November 2nd. It's on a Sunday. So, anyway, that's where that falls into place. But, you know, other than Bill being just a little bit weak, I mean, everybody's got a really good signal. Mike, the ART-13 is running great. Steve, the 32V1, great. Henry, the ATD with the remote and running the RBG2 with it. That's fantastic. And I heard that wonderful dynamotor in the background. Boy, that thing is just spinning away to beat the band. So great job there getting all that put together. The only thing you don't have is an airplane to put it in. Maybe you need to talk to Frank. But anyway, Henry, great job there. And Dave, the TCS sounds great. And Vern, the 7200 sounds great. And Bill, weak signal but copyable. So that's kind of the rundown on everybody. So let me check one more time, see if there's a number 7 before we go to second round. If you'd like to check in, be number 7 for the Vintage Military Radio Net, you can come now. Okay, nothing heard. So with that, we'll go back up and start rolling number 2 with Mike. Over Reno, W7MS. Mike, have you heard from Ron over in the Ozarks what W7MS K0DWC? Go ahead.
Well, thanks, Chuck. K0DWC W7MS, so my apologies for not answering that question on the first round. No, I have not, other than the extensive email that you forwarded on to us some time ago. But again, as Henry and I discussed at the swap meet, October seems to be the arrival time, and that's if we can. I was joking around with Henry and Sharon that he might be a dual citizen between Portugal and the U.S., and let's see if he's admitted back to the country here, but that's only a joke. I'm sure everything will be okay. But good reception from all. Good morning to Vern. Good signal in the low power position, no problem at all. Doing quite well. And Bill was 100% decoded here, and heard him talking about his inverter situation, how he has to use the SDR so that he can hear us due to the clitter clatter that's created here with him locally. And yeah, find Steve again on the, it's great to share the excitement. Congratulations on that. Henry sounded quite well, and congratulations on achieving remote status and getting everything wired up, sounding great, and running an extra 3 dB or so, or 3 dot something dB of increased power, but doing quite well. And of course the ATD is doggy approved there in Livermore, and I think being dog approved is very important. So Dave also is Elmering a potential enthusiast for vintage radio, but only if it's in a certain acuity area for the puppy dog. So I think that's a great story. Congratulations, Dave, on the countdown. And are you going to hit a bucket of balls today? It looks like you're already segueing towards other activities that have a higher priority than work. And Vern, again, doing well. Sorry you had some intercabling issues at ODark 30, but I experienced the same problem looking at the end of a piece of coax and going, where does this go? I want to get this radio going this morning, and then giving the thought that, well, I should have done this the day before, not the morning of. And of course, again, good morning to Bill. Comments here on Henry. Well, I'm going to slightly disagree with you on the pilot controlling the situation, because if somebody hits that local remote switch to local, the guy facing the radio behind the seat can operate the radio, and that's probably from a pilot standpoint, if you want to use the radio and where the transmitter is actually located, that could be expressly inconvenient to have it switch in the wrong position. But that's the story on that. Find Henry on your explanation on too much stuff for that Marconi receiver, and I'll describe my standard method of attack, and that's a transformer, high capacity filter, and a N-channel MOSFET voltage regulator. So we're running about 220, 215 on the 1155A. So that's the story on that. And also sorry to hear about your eye tube. and somebody had penciled 1629 on the I-tube shield. And I'm thinking that doesn't make sense because that's a 12-volt filament, but I guess they were confused because they're both octal-based tubes, and of course that's the corundum, the issue of, you know, I guess you can put it in a 6E5, but you got to do a 7-pin socket transplant. Maybe that's in the future, but and when I was just curious about the Osram version and did a little research and discovered it was relatively unique, and also depending on the purveyor of sale, could be quite outrageously expensive, and it's not even an audio tube, so go figure. And then you have the issue of contamination, that it may be a new old stock tube, but the target still doesn't glow. I'm sure they have the same issues as the ones produced here in the colonies. So over to you, Steve. W6SSP, W7MS.
Okay, thank you, Mike. W7MS, W6SSP. Yeah, very good on all. Henry, I was just happened to read the article in ER about the ATD a week or so ago. A pretty interesting transmitter, one I've never seen in person before, and a rather unique looking thing. If I recall, it had 2 of the auto tune units and puts out about 40 watts or so. So an afterburner would be a nice thing to have. Anyway, sounds really good here. Very, very carbony, as Dave said. And Vern, you've got a beautiful signal here in Santa Rosa. That antenna made a big difference in your signal in general. So throughout the winter, you may not need an amplifier. Working quite good for, it seems like, for everybody. Let's see, other things I'm working on this week. I've had a lot of fun. Every time I go to a swap meet and drag home a bunch of stuff, it's about all I do. Until I get through everything, at least make a first pass. And one success story here was with yet another Kenwood TS820S. I picked up $50, as is, of course. And of course, once I got it home, it had problems. But not when I did it in the phase lock loop, which is kind of boring, assuming I go in a cabinet in the bottom of the radio, and it's put a few screws together now and get the boards out. And it's a real pain in the neck as it is with any. So I went around chasing my tail quite a bit. So I finally found out what the problem was in some of the Japanese radios, what they did is if there was a problem in the phase lock loop, it shut down the display and also shut down the VCO. So you couldn't transmit spurious crud on the air. And of course, when that happens, you know, it could be anything. It could be power supply, it could be anything in the phase lock loop. And but what it turned out to be in this case was the transistor that's used to shut down the VCO and the display. Nothing else was at fault, just that one little transistor that's completely open. Had a heck of a time finding it, but finally did. And that was the only real problem with the radio. So I have another $50 sideband rig that'll probably just sit on the shelf for the next few years. The other thing I worked on was the rather unique Eldico keyer, tube-type keyer, model number EE2. And I haven't really found much of anything about it on the net. Took the covers off of it yesterday, and it's pretty crusty inside and out. Very, very rusty and hammer-tone finish, so I'm not sure how I'm going to attack that. Interesting thing, though, is the paint doesn't match the Eldico SSB 100F that I have. So what I want to do is just go with the flat glow on it, so the heck with it, it's good enough. But that's a future project. Not much else here, guys. We're heading out in a few minutes, so I'll listen for the next few stations, and then I'll say 73. See you all next weekend. Over to Henry, WA7YBS, W6SSP, 73, guys.
Okay. Just checking the meters here, making sure everything was working fine. And very good. 73 stable. And everything is doing fine. I ran into the same thing that Mike on the iTube was looking at them. They were, they were really, I think they were $100 a piece for an iTube. One time, the Zenith collectors 20 years ago might have thought about paying that for a 6T5, but the old Bullseye iTube, but not anymore. They don't even want the console radios anymore. So anyway, but the RBG, which is like I say, it's the military version, the Navy version of the Hammerland HQ-120. It's a great receiver for something that doesn't weigh a lot. It's about maybe 50 pounds or so, 55 pounds. So, and handles. It's got handles on the side, so it's pretty easy to move around, which is nice. And so anyway, I went with it. No, not that the R1155 is heavy. It's not, but anyway, the 1155 is a good receiver. It's just that I wanted to go with, United States Navy gear. What can I say? And let's see, on the ATD, I totally agree that the guy in the back, all he had to do was cut that safety wire on the remote local switch and then flip it to local, and that was goodbye pilot. That was all he needed to do. But according to the manual, the local remote switch was safety wired in the remote position. That was what I guess Bendix thought was going to be the mode of operation, but in reality, it probably was different. But yeah, totally. Cut the safety wire, and there you go. You got local control. One more thing I'm going to do on the ATD and on anything else I use a current mic on is I have ordered 2 of those Electret modules, the T1 replacement telephone microphone replacement modules. They're like $7.50 or something like that, and you got to order them directly from the guys there in Texas that make them for telephones, I guess. And anyway, I did that. They're on the way from Houston, Texas, via some ridiculous method that starts out as a UPS package and then somehow ends up at the post office. But at any rate, I should have them next week, and we will experiment around with maybe going to an Electret on this ATD, and we'll see how that sounds. And let's see, yeah, good on the dog. I hope I haven't, Dave, I hope it's the shrill sound of this, especially with the dynamotor. I'm sitting away from the desk a little bit because I have to use a foot switch to actuate the linear, and then I have the push-to-talk on the mic, so I have to sit a little ways away from the desk to actuate the foot switch to turn the linear, put the linear into the transmit mode. So anyway, that's why the dynamotor seems louder than normal. And so anyway, Vern, good morning to Vern. Strong signal, your antenna being up high is really helping. 20 watts is doing fine here. And Bill is coming in fine also. So that'll turn it over to Dave. How's the dog doing? W6MQI, WA7YBS.
WA7YBS, W6MQI. Well, he has left the shack and he's out patrolling the perimeter of the property right now. Somebody walked by with a dog and he went off to let him know that this is his place. But your signal is just pounding in here, Henry. Unbelievable. Yeah, you can definitely hear the dynamotor and such in the background. I'm curious, those microphone elements. There's one that a while back Andy sent out a email about what some of my telephones microphone inserts. I bought one time. I don't know if it was the same one. This was several years ago for my SCR 274, and didn't get the best of reports out of it. It was better than what was in it, but I ended up switching over to that eBay plug-in board, but I never really could find anything that worked perfect. There's always some little issue. But good morning to Vern, and I concur with everybody. Yep, the antenna, you did good there, Vern. Sounded good for 20 watts. And good morning to Bill. Yeah, projects here. I was working on a direct keyboard frequency input for a little QRP rig here that I built. And I was trying to input some serial commands into the and as I punched the keyboard on my serial monitor on the computer, but the QRP radio wasn't receiving them. Come to find out, the board, the Arduino board I was using, does not output serial commands through the USB. It comes out a couple of different pins. So I had to buy a shield, which is a daughter board that plugs on the top of the Arduino. But I haven't got it hooked up yet. So hopefully that solves the problem. But we shall see. I gotta rewrite the code and everything to facilitate that. And yeah, looking forward to retirement. I've been utilizing the machine shop at work. It's just they don't have me doing anything, so okay, I'll do something. I've been making antenna mass bases that I could connect a fiberglass mast. It had about a 2-inch base. I just slide it over this block, this round block that I made, and it allows you to pivot the antenna up into a vertical position. And this pivot's attached to a piece of aluminum, half-inch aluminum, and that gets spikes attached to the ground so they move around. So I made that for portable operations for my 30-foot fiberglass mast, and I also made one because I'm going to be taking down my tower here pretty soon. I don't want to climb up on the tower anymore. So I made, using 2-inch EMT conduit. They're only in 10-foot sections, so I had to make some couplers. And then I made another base, tilt-over base. You guys still hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay, that was interesting. The transmitter quit working for a second. Heard the relays clicking. Anyway, I made another tilt-over base for the, I'm going to leave one 10-foot section of the tower, and I'm going to tilt up kind of an antenna mast sort of arrangement. Something I can do on my own. Don't have to climb. What else? I've been working on RC helicopter parts. I've been building. I had an old RC helicopter sitting here. I used to fly back in the 80s. So I joined an RC club here and in Livermore. And I've been building parts for that and working on an airplane. And I'm getting bike. Yep, I'm going to go out today to the driving range. So, yeah, lots of things going on. Not much in the way of radio, but a lot of other things going on, which is good. All right. VXY, W6MQI.
Okay, Dave, thank you. Well, both two hobbies for one. I'm looking at my golf clubs over here in the closet, sitting in their virtually brand new bag. And they're almost brand new. They're Top Flight XL 2000s I got off eBay. I think I paid a little less than $100 for the whole set. And I got a driver, not a driver, I think I got a 4-wood with it. Yeah, I had a dream the other night, because we had talked a week or two ago, that I was back out in the golf course there in Livermore, and I was playing the short course, and I was doing halfway decent, but I was sore. Well, I should be sore. So that was neat to be dreaming about playing golf out there. I love that course, that short course, the pitch and putt. I played Las Positas. Is that right, Las Positas? Am I saying it right? Well, the Livermore main course, that was where the league I was in. It was not people from electronics, but most of the people in this league played from September up through June as a league. Had the summer off, and it was mostly school teachers. At least that's how it started out. And then there's a mixture of all kinds of people's backgrounds, but that was still dominant. You know, it's been 15 years since I played with them. Or no, it's 20. Anyhow, back to electronics. Yeah, I'm going to fire up the... Luckily, I didn't hurt the Marauder transmitter here, and thanks for the reports on the IC 7200. Old faithful here. I had hooked the antenna, and I got a kick out of what Mike said about where does this coax go? And then you're half blind in the morning. I had my flashlight, but I didn't see it. I hooked the antenna to the coax 2 input on the tuner instead of into where it's supposed to be looking for the transmitter. Couldn't figure out why I couldn't get power, and then I was keying power out of the transmitter. I hope I didn't hurt anything. I haven't used coax 2 much anyhow, just coax 1. So, but thanks for the reports. You guys all sound good, 20 over most of you. And I turn over to Bill, and I guess I'm very interested in I'm going to test the Marauder later this morning, but as I remember, it has positive modulation, something like what Henry uses. They take on this one the lower sideband audio and dump it, and mix it with the carrier, and they guarantee 75 watts, and that'd be enough. That's about what it was running. So that would be fine, and then I can turn the power down and run my SP200, bump it up over 100, but between 75 and 100, as you all know, it's different. So over to you, Dave. N6. N6 BCG, K0DWC Chuck was glad to be here. And yeah, I thought of it last night, Mike, but I didn't do it. I should have.
Good morning, Rob. It's been a great trip. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to stick around for the further around whatever
Yeah, okay, Bill, that's 6 Bravo Charlie Tango, K0DWC. We sound like you've been busy too, so. Oh, I was catching a little bit of QSB on you that time, Bill. You know, the sun's coming up and all, but we're just about done here. But anyway, still really good signals from everybody. No problems at all. And Dave, I should have mentioned it before I met you and I forgot, but congratulations on the retirement, 22 days left. Believe me, the day you walk out of there for the final time, you're going to feel like $1 million. Oh, man. You know, because then you'll be doing projects and taking a nap and eating and doing projects and taking a nap and eating. And I saw a small little thing on YouTube the other day. There was a little guy on there, and some lady asked him what he did. He said, well, in the morning I do nothing, and in the afternoon I continue what I was doing in the morning, and in the evening I rest. So, you know what? To me, that just about sums it up. Oh. I think the guy knew it too. He wasn't pulling any punches or anything. He just said it like it was. Oh man, that was funny. But anyway, let's see if there's a number 7 out there. I want to check in here. Go into the second round. He's coming out. Okay, nothing heard. Well, fellas, I guess we'll go ahead and start the 7-3. 7-3's to Steve, by the way. Sorry about that. See you next week, Steve. And we'll go on up to Mike back over in Reno, W7MS. In the group, K0DWC.
Well, thank you, Chuck. Looks like I'm about 400 hertz low, but it's only amateur radio, and at least I'm drifting down in frequency. I guess, I don't know if that's a plus or not, but is it half full or half empty? K0DWC W7MS, still good reception from all. A little bit of fading nuance on Vern, but quite expected based on his received signal level here, which is excellent, but he doesn't have much reserve in the fade margin, so to speak. But good reception from all. And congratulations, Henry, on ordering those mic elements out of Texas. Looking forward to your response on that. And I think with Dave's comments, he may have possibly have ordered the old version, and the version that I purchased and was recommended by Andy was the new and improved mic element to replace the T1 Western Electric carbon element, which apparently has an additional audio gain stage, which is a real problem with these dynamic carbon mic replacements. They work, but they just don't have enough oompah to really drive the radio audio-wise that I've discovered with a few that I've picked up over the years, and this apparently solves that problem. There is plenty of gain during that barrel circuit. And Dave, congratulations on utilizing the objects at hand at work there. I think interesting, and good job on that. And also, I got a note here for rotary wing. So congratulations on also resurrecting an older hobby from a previous lifetime. And very fine on golf and comments. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. I know my father-in-law up at Pine Mountain Lake really was proud that he walked the course up there, and I think that was great. I think my golfing career had ended years prior to that, and that's a different story. But I did host. I was DJ at the Swingin' 40s dance there at the clubhouse there in PML a couple of times, and of course it's a different generation now, so it might be swinging 60s, but 20, 30 years ago it was swinging 40s, spinning the 78s, or at least 78s converted to CD or maybe cassette tapes. That was, I've got some great stories about the the PML clubhouse. But let's see, comments here. I think projects dug out one of the ART-13s out of the back that I think I'm going to resurrect, and that's the a earlier version there, another Zenith contract. But we'll see. Still thinking about that because it's been back there for a couple of years, and it's definitely a project. It's a reverse hamster device, but I think it's time to get something going on a dyno motor, since we've got dynos sitting here, but no applicable ART-13 or version of the ART-13 to use. Comments on great propagation on 10 meters. Worked several European stations yesterday. Had a great conversation with Ted in Wales on 10 sideband. A great conversation with Monica in Belgium on 10 sideband, and these are real conversations, just not hit and run signal reports. So we had a hoot, and everybody likes my doppelganger on QRZ. Thank you, Jerome Horowitz. We really appreciate you, and had a great time. Also heard zero AM activity in the AM window, but did hear a nice station out of Spain on 29.125 operating FM, but by the time I got discombobulated and set up to give him a call, the band had shifted. So we're going to take a listen again today if we hear that station out of Spain on 29.125 simplex. So that was a lot of fun. Fun to work some DX. And also fun to have some real conversations other than just hit and run signal reports. So we're up to 7 threes. Thank you, Chuck, for running the show. Good conversation this morning. I think you mentioned that Steve may have signed, but I'm going to turn it to him because I'm not sure. And if not, it goes to Henry. But Steve, are you still there? W6SSP, W7MS. Well, I guess it goes to Henry.
Okay. And, yeah, I didn't hear anything. So he did say he was going to listen to a few stations, and that was it. And, yeah, Dave, the information came two ways. First, Andy, this is on the Electret mic, Andy sent an email. And then Mike there, I guess ended up buying some of them from this joint in Houston, and sounded great. I thought it sounded really good. Stand by. Okay. Off switch. Sorry about that. So anyway, after hearing Mike using this Andy recommended Electret replacement, I thought, yeah, that's the thing to try. They do sound, at least in Mike's application, they sounded great. So we'll see. Should be here next week sometime, and I have a mic body all set for it to drop into. Plenty of room for it. And so we'll see what we can rig up. And other than that, there hasn't been too much on the other types of projects. Just kind of not too much of interest out there as far as any sort of purchases. So we just are working on stuff that's here and available, easily. So anyway, we'll say 73 all around. Everybody have a good one. And, hey, well, maybe Carl will be net control next week. And we'll see what happens. With that, 73 over to Dave, W6MQI, WA7YBS.
WA7YBS, W6MQI. No problem. Propagation is definitely changing here, but still copying. And if you get less on the mic Elmo, I think I'll wait and see how yours works out. I might purchase one myself. Put it in a drawer here in case I ever need it. I always wanted to find a good mic to use with the ART13 because I've been using the D104. It'd be nice to find something, you know, that I could use a T17. Plug in a T17 and use it. That'd be nice. Yeah, Mike, boy, I haven't even turned the radio on. 10 meter sounds like it's hopping. I guess I'll have to check that out. And Vern, yep, that was a good dream you had. And being sore, yeah. If I haven't played for a while and I go out and just play 9 holes, I pay for it. My back is kind of trash to begin with, so I definitely feel it. And then I try to walk too. I don't use a cart, so I try to get some exercise out of it. But golf is one of those games that you know, you don't just go out and be an expert at it. It takes a lifetime to figure it out. You're always changing something. Always something different. And believe me, I'm no expert at it. Man, I can't get that ball to do anything. Some days it's fine, so who knows? And let's see what else. And Mike, yeah, the T17 insert again on that. Other than that, I know I was going to say something else, but oh, I got to look at your write-up on the ATD. Sounds like you have a new one there, Henry. So I'll check that out as well. All right, guys, 73, and my PCK gentlemen that's supposed to come up to Tennessee, and I guess they've had some problems, but they're still coming. So man, don't wait too long to start turning winter. So if they wait too long, who knows if they'll come this winter or not to pick it up. He was worried it's going away. No, it ain't going nowhere. Not going anywhere, although I'd love to get it out of here. I could use the room. All right, guys, 73, and I'll try and get it out here somewhat on time next week. So, yeah, 73, over to Vern. K6 VXY W6MQI.
Okay, well, thanks, Dave. W6 MQI K6VXY here. Yeah, I forgot I did do antenna work with 10 meters and 17. They're up about 28 feet now. I got a what do they call it? A spider antenna. So it's driven by the coax goes there, and then I got a splitter. So I got about an 18-inch rod at the far end of the 10-meter section, and then they're parallel. And they favor Europe a little bit, and would favor Dave a lot. Also, I think the reason you hear me pretty good, Dave, is that the last section of my one side of my 80-meter dipole is pretty much right in your direction. It's about the last third of it, the last 20 feet or so. And it's way up in a tree. That tree is 50 feet off the ground if it's a foot. It's up there. I got to get the protective cord on it, though. You know, the stuff with the metal and then covered with the polyester or whatever they cover it with. That's real strong, so they don't chomp at it because it's up high, but they couldn't get to it. I've seen those squirrels. I saw them this morning. But they are times they get way up the tree, and this is in a little bushy part near the very top of the tree. I got lucky with the slingshot. So that thing was for a while was maybe the end of it was only 10 feet off the ground. Now it's just way up, and it's nice. There's no one in that lot. That's an empty lot, but it is officially owned by my next door neighbor who's not here much, and there's no trees, nothing in there. weeds that have been chopped down, and now we got a lot of leaves falling. And anyhow, with that, I'm going to be testing the Marauder a little later. I realized what I was doing wrong, and I'm also going to use the dummy load with it. And I got one of these little watt meters that you put in line, but it's playing on its side because of the way the cord comes out of the variac. Yes, Mike, I'm still using the variac on it. Very slowly, I remember. I'll never forget that. Okay, so over to Bill, N6 BCT, and the group 73 solid K6 BXY. Okay, Bill. N6 Bravo Charlie Tango, K0DWC. Okay, guys, well, I'll wrap it up for today. Thanks a million for being there. We appreciate the support for sure. And I'm going to try and get Carla to be net control next Sunday. She's scheduled for next Sunday. So I'm going to try and make the effort to get her in here and do it. And if she doesn't, then I guess I'll do it again. So anyway. Okay, guys. Well, this is K0DWC, and I'll secure the Vintage Military Radio Net for today. And I'm going to thank everybody again for their participation and invite everybody back next Sunday morning. So with that, we'll turn the frequency back over to regular amber use. And you guys have a good, safe day today and a good week ahead. And we will talk to you next weekend. So with all that, this is K0DWC Dave Raleigh signing off. 7-3.